Sluts. I'm Aubrey, an Aquarius sun, Scorpio moon, Taurus rising.
And I'm Danny, a Sag sun, Leo moon, Libra rising.
And
we're your Astro Sluts.
It's-
And it's the
our
season finale!
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us for a whole nother season.
Season 5. Can you believe?
I can.
I can't.
No, I can't.
I can't.
It's a lot of seasons.
It's a lot of seasons. And every time, like, I mean, in theory, like, it has been 8 weeks because we do, like, one a week. And then that just seems like a long time.
I black out when we're
I
in,
do
like,
too.
recording
No, I do
season.
too.
I like it's always like the first week and I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Is
And
this
then it's
normal?
like suddenly the 8th week and I'm like, is anything different?
No,
Have I been doing anything else?
Probably not that much.
No. Everything's been on hold.
Yeah.
Like the things I was trying to get done 8 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I'm
literally
still
have
trying
not
to get done.
been moved. No, I feel that. I feel like that is just like my life lately, and it's just like I'm such a to-do list person. Like I just like cannot deal with like not checking shit off my list, and like my list just is like so fucking long, and like because there's like 8 things that have been on there for weeks. So just like every day get moved to the next day.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But I'm feeling with all this Aries season new energy, I do
Yeah.
feel like I can like see a pathway where they're
No,
gonna, like,
for
get
sure.
finished.
I had like a really productive day yesterday, and I finally finished like 2 big things that were on my list, and I'm like, okay, like we can't knock more shit off kind of
Yes.
vibe. So yeah, Aries season has us. Spring is here.
Spring has sprung.
Spring is sprung. We're moving.
Sprung.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling Astro Sluts. Leave your birth time.
If you want to know how to get that guy, text their mom. We're going to need that time. We'll be your latest crush. Call us Astro Sluts.
Do you have life updates for us?
Not too much beyond what we just literally said. I just like feel like I just need to like, I mean, it's great. We're going to have a little more time because we'll have a little break from the pod. Need to just like get some personal shit done, get stuff out of the way. And I'm just really excited for summer. I'm also just having like this horrifying, horrendous time of like, I'm obsessed with shopping again. Like I just want to buy so many things. And like you saw Andre Leontali saying they need new clothes. They have places to go. And I was like, thank you for saying that because you're so right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like, I don't know if I have like some Libra activation, some rising side. Like, I don't know if it's like something in my chart that's being activated, but every Instagram ad, I'm like, oh,
Is it just like
Well,
Venus and
that-
Taurus?
maybe.
So it's like at home. And
Yeah,
so
maybe
you
it's
also,
just,
it
like-
also feels really good to you.
Yeah, like it's just like, well, that would just be perfect for me,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind
The
of like my
aesthetics are
weekend.
aligned, yeah.
Like, yeah, I just had to start making like another list of things I want to buy instead of like buying them all.
Yeah.
I just make like a list of things, and then if I go back to the list when I have some money and I still want it kind of thing. But
I
How
know.
about you?
Okay, on that note, I have also been feeling like, no, I need to like, we need a wardrobe
Yeah.
refresh. I need a new look. I'm ready to like make my mood board for my summer aesthetic.
Yeah.
I have one cart that is, there's $600 in the cart,
Yeah.
and I just can't. I
No,
haven't
I
been able
know.
to, which I was going to, but then I realized I'm getting a tattoo this week.
Oh my
And
God,
then
I forgot that was like now.
No, it's like on Thursday.
oh my God, fun.
So that's exciting. Something
Yeah.
for us to look forward
No,
to.
literally.
But I just was like, then over the weekend, I was like, oh, I was like about to press like complete purchase. And then I was like, wait,
Yeah.
I have a huge tattoo.
That's about to be money.
And I have to do my taxes still.
No, the taxes.
Yeah, the taxes.
I've been blacking them out.
Yeah.
I owe a lot of money.
I am going to as well.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm going to be really
Stop
upset.
this girl. Excuse me.
I was like, no, I'm going to be really upset
No, I
after the
know.
tattoo and then after my taxes. And then I'm going to be like, and then why did I buy a $150 t-shirt?
No,
I just couldn't
literally.
rationalize it yet.
No.
But I think maybe I'll get it next week.
Yeah.
But I have some really good pieces in my cart.
I'm excited to see.
One of
Will you
them
show me
Is a
later?
skirt. Yeah.
Oh my God. The
It's a
tulle
matching-
one?
Oh, no.
Oh. different.
It's the one that matches that sweater that I have.
Oh, yes. You showed me a while ago, I think.
Yes.
Cute.
I can bring it back up.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah, I just am ready to do it. I honestly saw some people on the train that were wearing skirts, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
okay. If I could look like if I looked like that, then I would be cool with it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So exciting.
Inspo.
Femme era, but actually not. My mask feminization is what we're going for, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Androgyny. Not that I have to be androgynous. Okay. What I'm referring to my weekend. I'm coining the term. I was going through manic healing. I'm so obsessed with healing.
It's good.
It's good, but also we can't rush it. To an extent, it's wonderful that I'm taking the initiative to read the books that I've been wanting to read and learning about the things that I've been wanting to learn about, but we just can't rush it.
No.
And I'm trying to do it all at once.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm reading all about love and polysecure at the same time. Okay, relax.
Yeah.
And I'm also working my way through this Chani workshop that I do highly recommend. Chani's Love, Sex, and Synastry workshop is so nice. It's like honestly just as much like journal prompts as it is like literal astrology information. And there's not like that much that I've been like, there's not like that much new information that I've been learning about. Like she took us through the 7th house, the 5th house, Venus, and then Mars. And then I still have to get to like aspects and synastry. But it's just nice that she's making me like sit and reflect.
Yeah, no, totally.
On the things.
It feels like just as valuable.
Yes. Yeah. Just like her questions of being like, how, before you learn about Venus, like how has gender impacted what you think about relationships? And then like afterwards, it's like we reflect on, okay, so now that we know that your Venus is in this sign in this house, how do you like honor your Venus sign? Which is all nice little things.
That's nice. I should do that.
Yeah, I can send you the link. Okay, thank you.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. Buy your own. We love to support small businesses.
Yes.
And our favorite astrologers. Like us.
And if the sound of supporting small businesses, small astrologers sounds appealing to you, you can support us. If you want to follow us on social, we are on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest at Astro Sluts with 3 S's. You can give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, you can actually like write a cute little note. So maybe you could like tell us that you like our hair or something, or we've taught you a lot about yourself, whatever feels right for you. And you can text us. You can join our text list. We'll send you little texts, little messages when there's new things for you to know, like a new episode. And that number is 833-676-2680, and you can text Astro, ASTRO, to that number.
Up next is our segment called Talk Astro to Me. We like to start out asking little fun conversation questions that have to do with themes of the signs.
I'll go first with a Pisces question. Give us your summer fantasy.
Oh my God. Okay, fun. My summer fantasy is that I'm making lots of art. I'm scroll bossing. I'm unblocked. I'm creatively inspired. I get recognized everywhere I go. I'm running the town with all my besties. We're dancing. We're drinking. We're brunching.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be involved in that plan. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I have a Aries question for you today. What's the last thing you did impulsively, and did you regret it?
Oh, okay. Let me think. I feel like I do everything on impulse. So let me think of like one that's like specific.
A tangible one.
I bought veggie sushi today at Foxtrot, and I don't like eating new foods. And I don't regret it, but I am hungry.
Yeah.
And I think I was just like, oh, that looks good. I'm going to buy it. I didn't think about it that much. It was literally lettuce. And I'm a little bit hungry now.
No, it was just lettuce.
It was just lettuce. There was about 1 avocado in all 6 of the rolls. 1 piece. I mean, not even a full.
Yeah, I didn't even see avocado
piece.
in it.
There was like 1 or 2 I ate. It was really good. It had a little bit of sauce, but like we didn't think that one through.
No, I guess I thought we were holding so much.
Yeah, there were drinks.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it either. I was like, why didn't I get like an additional
I thought you were getting like
supplement
snackage
here
as well.
Mm-hmm. No, I just saw it and I ran with it, and it's not your fault. It was an impulse. I just was like, that looks good. Health vegetables. I'm trying to be a little bit healthy, eat my vegetables. And yep, I just went to the checkout.
Well, we win some, we lose some.
We win some, we lose some. So that was my latest impulse. It was my vegetable lunch.
We just didn't think it through.
We didn't think it through, and that's okay.
Sometimes we don't.
No. Up next, it's the morning announcements.
I pledge allegiance
to the Astro Sluts of the universe.
I love it.
We'll give you a little update on the current sky, upcoming transits, season changes, planet movements you should know about. So I'll kick us off with Mercury entering Taurus on April 3rd. We are slowing down. Mercury was, of course, in Aries, as we remember, or may have been reeling from some things we may have said over that time period. But this is just going to be like a nice shift towards more thoughtful communication, doing over saying, just like take the action you need to take instead of like just running your mouth, perhaps. And also give yourself the time you need to take and make decisions. I feel like Taurus needs a little more time. They're not as like quick to jump to words and on their actions either. So take the time you need, slow down a little bit, and figure out what you really want. And then we also have a Mercury retrograde coming our way with this Mercury Taurus placement. So we're going to be on a little break. So we're going to go out a little further than we usually will be. So I'm going to keep talking. But the Mercury retrograde shadow begins on April 7th. And then the actual retrograde is April 21st to May 4th. So just like always a time to be reflective, not a time to like freak out or be fearful, but reflecting on like your values, your security, whether it's like relationship, money, your home, just reflecting on what do you need to feel safe and secure in your life would be nice for that period.
Beautiful. On April 6th, we are going to have a full moon in Libra. We know that full moons are the culmination point, the illumination. We are now halfway through like this moon cycle. So 2 weeks ago we had the new moon. You maybe planted some seeds, set some intentions, and now 2 weeks later, the full moon, we're going to like do a little check-in. How are those things going? This could also, you might find a connect to this full moon from the new moon in Libra that we had during Libra season, which was September 25th, 2022. So you could also go back and look at your diary from that point and see if anything connects. Libra is all about balance, the scales. So like just a good time to check in, like, are we feeling balanced? If you're feeling like super unbalanced, now we know that we need to like make some adjustments. It might just feel like that if you're feeling unbalanced, it's like might just become more prominent for you around this date. And, you know, we can move forward. It's just information. It's okay.
Yeah.
And if you are feeling balanced, wonderful. Keep on.
Carry on.
Carry on. Libra is also connected to relationships. So this might like highlight or amplify like the relationships in your life, make them feel more intense. You can, as always, look to the house in your chart that Libra is in to find which part of your life that this affects.
Lovely. And last, I bit my tongue.
Be careful.
Lastly, we have Venus entering Gemini on April 11th, Flirty, flirty fun. Summertime fun. Everything for me is about summer, so sorry.
Yeah.
Bear with me. Now until October, the vibe is summer. This is warming us up for that summertime slutty energy that we should all be cultivating. Good time to turn up the charm, chat up a hottie at the bar. Just really like let yourself explore, let yourself dabble in all different areas. Let curiosity lead the way, stimulate your mind, and date in multiples. Date multiple people, see who's out there, see what's interesting to you, or maybe just like try new things in multiples. If you're like not trying to date right now, you could just like start some hobbies, find new interests. Just use that Gemini energy to your advantage.
Love. Bring it on.
I think so.
It's time for our study hall segment.
Yay! Last study hall of the school year.
Today we are studying critical degrees to round out our math season.
So I would suggest, if you haven't already, go back to episode 6 of season 5. We did like a whole starter episode on the degrees. So like get all your knowledge from that. If you need a refresher, you can listen to that segment, and then we will just dive in a little deeper.
I did discover in this research that I think that misogyny got the best of me in that episode. And the person, like the astrologer that discovered, like that created the degree theory, I think I just assumed they were a man.
Oh.
And I saw a she, her pronoun talking about that astrologer today.
Well, now we know.
So now I'll go home and reflect on that. But just so you know.
Yes, thank you.
It was a woman. I don't know, just something to think about. Anyway.
Mull it over.
Yeah. Just to, if this is your first episode, we have a whole circle of our birth chart, right? 360 degrees. We have 12 signs. So 360 divided by 12, each sign has 30 degrees within it. Some of those degrees, the degrees being 0 to 29, some of those degrees are called critical degrees.
Ooh.
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 We'll get into which ones they are, but critical beatboxing now. Critical degrees are specific degrees that are going to like draw more focus than others.
Yeah.
In your chart. They're going to be like a little extra challenge, someplace where you're going to have to put more work in, but something that like feels more prominent. Like honestly, well, I think an analogy would be like if you had a planet in retrograde in your chart, that might pull some attention. Or if you have like, if something's like aspected, but if you have like a planet that's like not aspected, feels kind of random, but it has a critical degree, it might also be like a prominent part of your personality.
Like a little spotlight on that area more than other places.
Yeah.
So the critical degrees are going to be divided up by like fixed, cardinal, and sorry, I don't know why I said that word. By cardinal, fixed, and mutable degrees. So we'll look at them that way just to like keep everything in order, and that will also affect like what kind of energy those certain degrees may have. So for the cardinal signs, those are our Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn signs, if we remember. The critical degrees there are going to be 0, 13, and 26 degrees. So any placement on one of those degrees would have like more of that cardinal energy. And that can be seen as like an overexertion or like overexpressing.
So if you had like Mercury at a critical degree of 0, 13, or 26, like a cardinal critical degree, you might like feel like, oh, you need to tell everybody what you're thinking.
Right.
Or like every thought you have, like you have to say it. So like everyone needs to know what you think about some subject.
Yeah, like pumping up the energy a little bit. Or it could be like on the flip side, if you're like just like have a Mars placement there, it might be like you're just a little harsher or depending on like the kind of energy of the planet. I do have my Mars there now that I just said that. My Mars is on 0 degrees in Aquarius, and my north and south node are both at 13 degrees.
Oh, look at
I
you.
know. Which, of course, they would be because they're opposite, but still. The nodes, I should say, are at 13 degrees, which I just thought was interesting.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Aggressive. Aggression towards my goals.
Absolutely.
Which is fair, I think.
Yes. A good read. Yes, we'll remember that cardinal signs are like the starters.
Mm-hmm.
They're the beginnings of like each of our 4 like seasons in the northern hemisphere. So they're like
the kickoff.
Yes, they got an idea and they're let's just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which moves us on to our fixed signs. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius for our reference, and the critical degrees are 8 and 9 and 21 and 22. So these placements at these degrees are going to take on a more fixed quality, which fixed signs are the hard working like parts of the zodiac, like they're, could be known as stubborn or something. I'm a very fixed person. They know how things should be done. The cardinal degrees are like, we're gonna have all these ideas, and the fixed signs are the ones that are like gonna make the ideas happen. They know the plan, they're efficient, they like know the steady way to like
get it done.
Since critical degrees can be kind of like a challenging point, like these are going to take on potentially more like negative traits of fixed signs in which like it is that stubbornness or restriction or like difficulty to like adapt.
Yeah, like almost like restraint or like feeling held back.
Yeah.
I do have my Libra rising and my Sag Mercury here.
Oh.
Which I do just think like I am just like shy.
Yeah.
Like I just don't like to talk. Like it takes so much for me to like talk to people.
Yeah.
Even though I obviously have a Libra rising, I feel like I can be like very friendly and bubbly, but like not always.
No, yeah, there's like
there's a wall. But I just thought that was funny. I'm like, oh, that must just be that little like wall in front of me for both my rising and my communication.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then finally we have the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. These degrees are going to be 4 and 17.
So this might result in just like almost like an ambivalence and indifference in this area of your life, just like difficulty making a move. You might just not feel like super called to like take action or do much in this area of your life. Of course, like we all have to, have all aspects of our 360 life here, but it might just not feel as like calling to you.
Yeah, I think also like it's hard for you to like stand up for yourself maybe in these kinds of ways. Like if you had like maybe you have Mars at a mutable critical degree, even if it's in like a super fiery, like even if you have like an Aries Mars, but it's at like a mutable degree, you might find it like harder to like say how you really feel about something,
right?
Or like you might feel like you can't like stand as strongly in your beliefs or thoughts. Like not that Aries Mars like has like strong beliefs, they just want to like argue, but you might have a harder time like doing that if you are at a mutable critical degree.
Yeah, also just that same like mutable, we talk about like just big go with the flow energy, and doesn't always have to be like indifference in a negative way. It could just be like you're just like, yeah, I'm just here, I'm just vibing wherever things take me in this area, like I'll just be there.
I do think critical degrees do have there. I don't think that they're just challenging like negative parts of you. These are things that maybe don't come natural to you, but once like worked through, you can find like a lot of success with these placements because they are so like prominent,
powerful
for you.
Two other degrees that are always going to be like considered critical degrees, even though they don't fall under any of the other categories, are 0. Well, 0 is also considered cardinal, but 0 and 29. So the starting and ending. So even though we have like 30 degrees essentially in each sign, it goes from like 0 to 29 as opposed to like 1 to 30. So 0 degrees at any sign is going to be just like the beginning kind of the sign. It could point to like early stages of like learning lessons associated with the like points. It also could just be like the sign in its like fullest, purest potential. Some people are saying it's like kind of like beginning of karmic journey vibes, like just like early stages of something developing here for like the rest of your lifetimes potentially. Yeah, that's where that Aquarius Mars I have is on 0 degrees, which I just think is such a weird placement because I feel like Aquarius and Mars is just already a weird placement.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say on it. It's just something I'm just like, it's there. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
I think things at the 0th degree also feel like if you're in like the first decan of a sign, it's just like the most
pure
that sign you can be.
Yeah. Pure that sign energy.
Yeah, and you might like identify with it more if you are at that like
totally
0, like just because it's any critical degree, but you might just, if your like sun is at
like
0
this
degrees
is so
of
me
Taurus, you might be like, I am literally such a Taurus, like the stereotypes are true.
Yeah, get me a candle and a bubble bath right now
and a snack. Yeah. And the 29th degree is also a critical degree. We talked about this briefly in a previous episode, but it's also known as the anaretic degree. I've seen it referred to as the fate degree as well. This is like kind of, if the 0 is like the start of the karmic journey, 29 is like the karmic completion of it. Like it's like a peak or point of mastery. There's like that little bit of like extra energy before something like moves into the next sign.
I did also see like karmic wise, like if you had a lot of points at 29 degrees in your chart, you could just be like an old soul vibe. Just like you've learned a lot of lessons. You're at the end of your hero's journey, essentially.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I have none. So still lots to learn. I read that. I was like, oh, I probably have like a lot. Okay. No. My chart's like, you are baby.
Hope you enjoyed learning about the critical degrees. Hope it's been critical to your
astrology journey.
And we got more nuance and insight.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful mathematical journey.
No, I'm
the nitty gritty.
Yeah, I'm excited to do my own private study hall from all the things we've learned.
Yes.
Yeah, do some summer reading.
Exactly.
For my own, because I feel like we have learned a lot of new things.
We have. No, this was a season in which we were like, oh, let's learn something that we know nothing about.
Yeah.
And talk about it this week.
Yeah, and all like the numerology shit I'm really liking for my day-to-day life too. All those little themes and things. So yeah, fun to sprinkle it all in.
Bring. That's the recess bell. We haven't had a good bell this episode.
Yeah. I'm trying not to scream. Remember, I was trying not to scream because I kept freaking myself out when I would listen to our episode.
Maybe just give us a soft bell.
Bring.
That was nice. Very soothing for our listeners at home.
It's like a sound bowl.
Yeah. Could you imagine if like that's the vibe at school?
That would be amazing.
That would be really nice.
We'd all be a lot smarter, probably.
Yeah. At Gwyneth Paltrow's Academy.
Yeah, Goop Academy.
Goopiversity.
I would die to go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today. Okay, so recess is when we take a little break. We take a break from our studies because we work so hard, and sometimes you just need a little time to chit chat with your besties on the Foursquare. On the swings.
exactly under the slide.
Yeah. So today we're talking about goals, about how to achieve your dreams. A little piggyback off of last week's episode. We talked about our intentions and whatnot for this new astro year.
Yeah.
And so now we're talking about
how to actually do it.
More than just dreaming.
It's important.
Yeah. Would you like to begin?
Sure. I'm a big like work backwards person, so I feel like that is something that just like works for me. Like if I have an idea in mind, like how do I like work backwards to figure out like what I need to start doing? So I know like I downloaded like Notion recently, which I like just like honestly love any kind of organization app thing, but I was having, it's not super, at least right now, I haven't found it super helpful for like my day to day, but I do have like big things in there that I find helpful. So like for like my savings goal, like I just like, what number do I want to be at? What's the difference? And then I like chart it out like literally just month by month, like how much do you want to save each month? Like made myself a little checklist.
My goodness.
And it's like cute. Thank you. So then it's like every month, like I can like check it off. I can see that I'm on track. And I feel like obviously like numbers are just like an easy way because it's like not a wrong way to do that. You just do the numbers. But I feel like that's something that like works for me in more forms than like literally just like math stuff.
Yes.
So that's something I'm like trying to translate across like all my things. It's also just like I feel like a lot of things like you just like have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to just like start and like figure out what actually is gonna like get you there kind of thing, or like figure out what the little like day by day bite-sized piece of like activity you can do. Like I finished like 2 just big like decks, like presentation things for like personal work I want to like put out into the world this weekend. But like once I like had it going, it took me 10% of the time that it took me to like make a fucking outline and like the colors I was using in it. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you can just like, sometimes you also just have to like force yourself to do something and then just fix it later.
Yeah. Just get it like started on paper and you can be like, okay, now the outline is done. You just have to plug in stuff. I'm definitely a big like list person. I like to list out what I want to have happened, and then I write down like every single little thing that needs to like happen in order for it to be completed.
Exactly.
Is always good, having it being seen. Although I do sometimes feel like I make too many lists in which then I'm like I'm just procrastinating by being
doing
like
stuff.
I'm overwhelmed, and then I just make the same list 80 different times when I'm like, okay, well, which maybe, you know, I feel like I'm like hearing my therapist in my brain. They'd be like, well, maybe that's what you needed to do. Yeah. I'm like, but I could have also just used that time to just do it.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
There's a middle
balance.
ground. Yeah. I think there's also like, if there's something you've been wanting to do and are having a hard time doing it, it is worth like investigating what the blockage is.
Yeah, totally.
And whether it's like, is it something you actually want to do, or is it like someone else putting it in your head that that's what you want to do, is option A. And then option B is like, no, it is something that you are really passionate about, but there's some sort of like emotional blockage, like fear or something. I've discovered recently, which I've always like kind of known, but like I've really brought it to the forward of my brain. I've been just having such a blockage in like writing music for like many months, and like my life has been turmoil, so I'm not like, I've been trying not to like beat myself up about it, but I did realize that like this song I'm about to release, I love so much, and I think I'm scared that I can't write anything better than it.
I mean, it is a really good song, but I think you can do better too.
Yeah. There's just like more.
It is just, it is really good though. That's fair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is just like scary. I'm literally just like, nope, I've already peaked. No. It's
No,
like
I
I know that's
know.
not true, but I realized like that was like the blockage
Yeah.
within me that I need to like work through in order to like get the ball rolling.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I have like something that brought up for me, but I don't know if it's helpful.
Well, let's chat about it. It's
Okay.
recess. Anything
I feel like
goes.
that's interesting. And like, this is not what you're saying at all. But I feel like there also is, for maybe like a flip side though, like those things of just like, I've come to my culmination here. And like, that is okay.
Yes.
You know, like I feel like for me, like I've been thinking about this recently because like I'm really into ballet again, but not as like something I want to do. Like not for me.
Just in general.
Just like as a idea. But I was like thinking about it and I was like, oh, is it something I want to like dedicate time to again? Like, why is this like, why am I like really into it all of a sudden? And I was like, no, like I just feel like like the last time I performed, like, well, I shouldn't say that. The last show that was like really a big deal for me. Like I just like knew that I was like, this is like it for me. Like I just know that I'm like never going to be this good again kind of thing. And not in like it wasn't in like a sad way. It was like in a like,
Just
yeah, this was probably it. And I think that's also just like a flip side of that, like knowing the difference of like, are you just like doubting yourself and like not trusting yourself to be better, or like have you just maybe closed a chapter and like you want to just, I like to end on a high, you know? So like, do you want to just end on a high? Because I don't know, I've just like been thinking about that a lot and I was like, no, I actually don't have any interest in doing that.
Yeah.
But also like, no, you closed it how you wanted to close it kind of thing.
Which, yeah. And that's great that, you know, you didn't have to like
Yeah.
hold on and like force it and be like, no, this is what I always said I was going to do.
Yeah,
Like, this has been my
exactly.
goal.
Yeah.
So something else to think about.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like are your goals external? Or are they internal?
Right. And they're allowed to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Like to a certain point, you shouldn't have to like force anything.
Yeah.
Which is why I've, you know, not been like forcing myself to like write or whatever. I've been trying to like do my little self-exploration exercises, and I'm still like salty about other people making music.
Yeah.
So that's how
No,
I
yeah,
know
it's
that
still like
it's,
something that you really want to do.
Yeah.
No, I know. And I think like too, like such a good example of like just like knowing that your goals can change is like literally like when we were like graduating high school, like TikTok didn't exist.
Yes.
And that's just like a big part of our like current job. So it's just like there's just things again, like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
New things can always arise and then you can like change based on that. Or you could just discover something that you like. My other tip, this is a huge shift, but I think it's important and something I'm trying to prioritize, is clean your room. Like literally clean your room and your life will be so much better. Yeah. Like that is just something I'm so bad about it. Like I like really just feel like such a better person when I like clean weekly. I do my laundry once a week. Like I just wear so many clothes too. Like if I don't do my laundry for 1 week, the laundry's taller than me, like immediately after 8 days. Like, so just like keeping up with those like stupid things that like obviously when you're like trying to be creative and work and like see your friends and have a life and a relationship, like it's like I'll just wipe my counter next week or whatever. But I feel like it makes such a huge difference, like living in chaos. You just like don't, like there's no room for like literally anything else. Like my closet right now, I go in there and I'm like, I am literally a hoarder and there's no happiness in store for me just because my clothes are fucking everywhere.
Yeah. I think that goes to like, I'm really on my all about love shit right now. Like what I said last week or whatever, when I was like, no, we like do a good job at our jobs because of like our self-worth.
Yeah.
It feels very similar to that, in which like you know, if you're an adult, like no one's telling you to clean your room anymore, but like if you just like do that, you will like just feel like you are a good like successful person, and it will just like make you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, literally.
Because it's like
You
an
just
act of
have
love
a
to
nice
yourself.
home
Yeah.
that you take care of and
Mhm.
care about. No, I know my mom is like so crazy about our house and like always was when I was growing up, about it being like perfect and clean. And just like recently she was just like, my home is like, it's a reflection of me. Like it can't, like I can't have a fucking book on the counter that's a reflection of me. And I was like, oh, like I totally get it now.
Yeah.
But I just was always like, oh my God, I'm about to read a book. Like it's fine that it's on the
No,
counter.
I think it can be on the counter.
Well,
It's
yeah,
a reflection that you're a reader.
Yeah, we're, you know, we
There's a
all
balance.
have our levels. But her saying that was like I was like, okay,
I
I'm
get you, yeah.
understanding why this is such a thing, but I think it is just like that same, like you should have pride in yourself. You should have pride in like where you keep your stuff and where you live every day and where you do your work and do your creative work and all those things. Like just keep everything refreshed, cleansed, minimal, and it also just feels way less chaotic on your brain. Like if you
Yes.
could just go to somewhere that's like relaxing and doesn't feel like stressful when you look at a pile of something.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Oh my God, I need to put that
Yeah.
away. Oh, I forgot to do my taxes. Like,
Right, literally.
I think something else is just like, obviously being kind to ourselves always. That's just the theme of every episode.
Yeah.
We always gotta mention it. We have to be kind to ourselves. But I think something worth looking into that we should honestly do like a full episode on is like your human design.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Knowing how you work.
Yeah.
I think even just like literally I don't know a ton about human design, but like a brief Google,
Mm-hmm.
throw your info in the calculator and just seeing like the first stuff that pops up when
Yeah.
you look that up, like your human design type is like you have, it's just, I don't know, the design of your human.
Yeah, it's like a combination of like astrology, some like Chinese like astrology stuff and like other things. It's like a big like mush mash.
Yeah. It's like a lot.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those things where you're going to like look it up and be like, what the fuck do all these things mean? But it does like, I think it's like pretty easily transferable to like your work style.
Yeah, no,
in
it
which
very
like
much is.
I'm a projector,
Mm-hmm.
in which I like work in like spurts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like not so much. Are you a?
I'm a manifest generator.
Yeah. So is that like you like work all
Work all the
day?
time.
Yeah.
You have ideas all the time. You have
Yeah.
to do them all the time. Mm-hmm.
And I'm a projector, in which like I'm more like overseer vibes.
Yeah.
Like I get burnt out if I don't have
Yeah,
ideas
if
all
you're
the time, and I
doing
get
stuff all the
burnt out if I'm
Yeah.
trying to like work all day every day. Like it's very
Mhm.
much like I need to like relax for
Yeah.
a couple days, and then I'll have a day where I'm like super inspired and like work
Yeah.
a 24-hour cycle, and then I relax
Yeah.
for 4 days. And it's okay. We all are like built differently.
Yeah, no, the human design stuff is like really helpful. Is yeah, for sure, especially like in a work sense and
Mhm.
just like how to actually do shit for yourself. Let me just pull up our Instagram. I'm like, there's a couple people that would be good. Erin Claire Jones on Instagram is like a human design coach. But she does just like really like simple like infographic-y posts like literally all the time, and it'll be like a note for projectors, a note for manifest generators. Like you've probably seen people share them. But it's honestly like really easy to learn about yourself from her posts because they're just like really digestible. So if you need like a quick hit of human design, I feel like she's a good
Yeah.
place to go to.
Quick hit of validation on
Yeah,
like how your
exactly.
brain and body like to do things.
Yeah. No, it is so interesting. And I feel like it also just like, I mean, like, I think it's interesting, like being a manifest generator and then also having like only air and fire signs. It's that kind of like you like have all the things in your brain, but then you also like have to be the one to do them.
Mm-hmm.
And like immediately, like you have to do it like right away and like ask people about it and talk about it with people to like know it's the right thing. So it is just like interesting, like learning about it and then looking at like your others, like the rest of your chart and relating it back.
We love to compare.
We love to compare and contrast.
Combine.
Learn.
So hopefully so far your little intentions and goals, they're not little. I just meant that in like an endearing way.
Mm-hmm.
They're big goals.
You have big dreams.
And I hope that they're going well so far and that we can push on through this year and not burn ourselves out, honestly.
Yeah, no,
Don't do
literally.
too much. We're playing the long game if your intentions are like life changes.
Yeah. It's time to pass a note. We did it.
Killed
I got
that.
nervous, but we did it.
This is when we like to connect with our listeners. We pass notes back and forth. You can pass us a note on our submission form that is linked in all of our bios. It's linked into the episode of this podcast. And you can tell us a funny story. You can ask us for advice. You can request an astrology topic. You can tell us how much you love us. Anything goes, really. And then we'll pass the note back live on the air and respond
Stunning.
however we want.
Amazing.
Do you want to read this?
I would love to. Hi, sluts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what it means when a planet is retrograde in your birth chart. Both Mercury and Saturn are retrograde in mine, and I think I might be noticing some patterns. The last few times Mercury has retrograded, I haven't felt an increase in mercurial mishaps. They're pretty common in my life. But I did have a lot of you can see it too moments with people that made me wonder if it's maybe just my baseline. But it's a totally novel experience for others when Mercury retrogrades. I'm also curious to know if having natal retrogrades means I should anticipate different things when looking at upcoming transits than someone without a retrograde placement. Thanks.
Adorable.
Adorable. And this person has a Sagittarius Sun, Pisces Moon, and Leo rising. I do also have Mercury retrograde in my birth chart, and I feel like I've said this, like, I don't even know when, like, maybe not that recently, but I know I've said, like, I do feel that same way of, like, when people, I'm always like, it's not a big deal. Like, Mercury retrograde to me just does not feel earth-shattering, shaking. It does feel, like, very normal. So I would say just from personal life, having that similar placement, you're probably right on with that. Like, it just does feel like that's, like, your baseline of how you, like, interact in the world, like, all the time. And of course we would, like, having that placement, you, like, learn to get through it, but I'm sure it does feel, like, way more natural. Like, you're not, like, shocked by miscommunications or mishaps that happen.
Yeah, I have a Venus retrograde in my natal chart, which I honestly, like, didn't really realize until, like, recently, or maybe I did know and then forgot.
Yeah.
It was, like, recently. I was like, wait, what? That makes so much sense. I'm like, it's so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
I just am a little cuckoo bananas sometimes.
It's okay.
About love. Sue me. I do think, though, like, I don't know, that last Venus retrograde we had, though, like, did really affect me.
Yeah.
Like, I did text my ex, like, the day it went
into I remember
retrograde.
that.
I guess that was the day Mercury went into retrograde, right? The Venus one started first. I don't know, but I was, like, in turmoil as soon as
you
it
were
happened.
in shambles.
I was shambled. But I wonder if it's because I'm also ruled by Venus.
Yeah, so it's, like, a lot.
It's just, like, a lot. I've just got a lot of Venusian energy.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Chaotic Venusian energy within me.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool, honestly. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah, I feel like I just do have, like, a really hard time communicating. Like, that always just has been, like, it is so hard for me to talk.
Yeah.
And, like, I just, like, don't want to talk to people. And, like, obviously, like, I have a podcast, but it's, like, with Aubrey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's, like, fine. But, like, that has always just been, like, a huge, like, blockage. Like, obviously, we talked about it with that fixed energy with my Mercury. But then also in retrograde, it's just, like.
Yeah. Lot of, we're in a maze.
Yeah, like there's a lot of things that I'm just like, I'm just gonna not open my mouth. So I feel like that might be, like, something you notice too. It's just, like, you don't always want to be, like, the communicator.
Yeah, I also just have, like, such a hard time dating.
Yeah.
And loving. I was literally sobbing over the weekend because I think I'm so fucked up. Which is besides the point. It's not what we're talking about right now, but that's just, how it can feel.
Yeah.
Translating that to your Saturn retrograde specifically, Saturn doesn't go into retrograde like that often, but you might find like it feels more like normal to you.
Yeah. I think like even day to day, it might show up about like more just like control freak energy, or you might have like weird things about like just like control in day to day life, or like just like challenges around like bigger structures that like you have to exist in because we live in a society or something.
Yeah.
Like just things like that might feel like more prevalent to you, or you might be more bothered by them than like
like by like
other
the government
people.
And everyone's like, why do you care? And
you're
you're like, but
it's really affecting
up.
me.
Yeah.
But I think it could also translate for like all retrograde placements of just like you taking those things more internal, like instead of just processing them like outward, or like with Mercury, like wanting to like share outwardly, like you might just like want to like have your little thoughts in your brain kind of vibe. And like same with Saturn or Venus, like it might just be like, this is more for me, this is more like my little inner world I want to be in, and like come to my conclusions for myself or like in my own time, than like just wanting to like share or like project those things outward. I would say for like retrogrades in transits, it's probably just something that you like, maybe people can turn to you for advice. Like you just might have like a better lay of the land. So you know what to expect, or like can just like have a more calm like demeanor when like the whole world is freaking out about a retrograde. You can be like, no, I got it.
Yeah.
I've got it covered. I know how this goes. But I think too, like if, as Ob said, like if it brings up a lot of energy for you, you can also just maybe be like, oh, this is like, it's activating this natal placement. Like it's nothing to like have turmoil about. This is just like something that's coming up for me, and you can like recognize it more that way.
Yeah, I think, and if you mean like, if things are like, if like transiting planets are like aspecting your placements or something like that, like I don't think you necessarily need to look at them differently. I think that aspects to these placements might feel just more prominent because they feel like really important aspects of your life, so you might feel them more than like an aspect to one of your planets that's not retrograde. But like, you know yourself, and like knowing that these planets are retrograde like can help you understand those parts of you better. But like, you're good. You like,
it's nothing to be freaked out about.
Yeah, I don't think it's like it's any different. You just have like some more nuance.
Yeah,
in
a little more self-awareness, a little more introvert energy, perhaps.
Well, we applaud you for noticing your patterns, because Slay, that's just reality check. Like, not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone can recognize patterns in themselves. So good for you. Keep diving on in.
Yeah.
Doing the work, bitch. And hope our little insights were helpful.
Yeah. Sagittarius, slay.
Yes.
To you.
And thank you for writing in. That's all we have.
That's our last episode of season 5.
It's been a blast.
I'm starving.
Yeah. An
well,
hour.
We've gotta go.
No, we had an early lunch today too. So
and I had lettuce.
The lettuce is digested.
Not holding up. Oh my God. Well, when are we going to be back?
That's a great question.
Who knows?
Who knows?
For summer, probably.
For summer, I think we have a slut hot summer season.
Yeah.
Coming
Don't
up.
worry.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. And we're always on the internet. So we're always on the Instagram and the TikTok mainly. We're also on the Twitter and the Pinterest, and we'll keep texting you. And you can always text us, or you can comment, DM. If you need us, we're still here.
Until next time, sluts.
Bye.
Bye.